What's going on, good people? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Y'all know what time it is. It is Wind Down Wednesday. And let's see, what time is it? We only 5 minutes
It's
behind
a
the eight ball, but guess what? We're
little
gonna be
bit
all
out.
right.
It's all right. It's all right.
We're gonna be all right. We do what it do, we make it happen. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Y'all know who I am. I'm Sandy, and I do this for fun. I don't do this for a living because I ain't getting paid, but I do it for fun. I enjoy it, and we like to talk to you. Blah. It's been one of them days, just one of them days. But it's gonna be all right. So, how you doing? How you doing? How's your week going?
Hey, it's your girl Tanisha. I know what time it is. It's going. It's moving. Hump day is here. The month is moving. The day is moving. The time is moving. I can't believe we about to be in July. It's about to be another holiday, and yeah. So I'm doing great. I'm live and well, so I cannot complain. I won't complain. I can't complain, but I won't complain.
Yes. What's the point, right?
That's right.
No need in complaining because at the end of the day, who gonna listen? We gonna hear it. We gonna listen, but ain't nobody else gonna listen. So we do what it do. So your week was good.
It was. It was. But going back very quickly. How about yours?
Wonderful. Going by quickly. Extremely busy. Got camps going on with the kids. So far, so good. It's just wearing me out because it takes a lot of energy, to put in it. So by the time I get home, it ain't no more of those late nights hanging out, doing this, doing that, especially Monday through Friday. I mean, well, I can, but I'll be wore out the next day. So anyway, other than that, hey, things have been going well. No complaints either from me. Father's Day was good. How about your Father's Day?
Yes, it was good. It was relaxing. It was quick. I hope all the dads out there had a great Father's Day. Every day is yours, of course. Every day is Father's Day. But I hope you got to spend some time with your most precious, valued loved ones, your children, and that everyone had a great day. How about you?
I pray everybody had a wonderful day. I went to church, went to brunch, had a great time. Everything was good. It was just a wonderful time. I mean, some a pastor, some a nephew, saw some friends, sent out a happy Father's Day to a lot of the men that important in my life, my brothers, some uncles and some cousins. So it was really a good day. Really didn't do too much or anything, but just calling people and tell them, for those that filled in the gap for those that didn't have fathers, hey, I'm calling you to just say, hey, happy filling the gap day. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I call it. You might not be the daddy, but happy filling the gap day.
There you go. I
That's
like
pretty
that.
much.
I may have to adopt that. I like that.
So, I know. I come up with all kinds of crazy things.
You gotta be quick on your feet. Gotta be witty. You know.
Got to think quick. Got to think quick, fast, and in a hurry. But other than that, God is good. Life is good. It's all good. I'm enjoying life and I'm enjoying myself. Courtney, hanging out with her. Just having a good time. I mean, really, seriously having a great time. I mean, somebody asked me how I'm doing. If I was doing it better, I ain't gonna tell you what.
All right
But
now.
that's right. We make it happen. So anyway, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So what we're gonna talk about today, sis, is the fact that it's a couple. It's kind of a couple of things, but I guess it can roll over into one. All of a sudden now, we've been knowing people have had some tendencies or was gay or went the other way. Your preference is your preference. That's you. Your lifestyle is your lifestyle. That's you. So the guy came out that was an NFL football player, and he said, now all of a sudden he want to come out and let the folks know that he is gay or bisexual or whatever. But I want to say he said the word gay. And a lot of people are in an uproar about that. The fact that I guess he played football all these years and he never said anything, but they said he was a beast on the field. I don't know. His name don't sound familiar to me. His face didn't even sound familiar to me. So I can't tell you who he is. And I follow football. So do you really think it matters? And when I say this all working in together, because I think we talked about this before, where we said that they passed the law where if you were a male trying to be a female, that you were going to be allowed to play that sport or play on somebody's team or play on a girl's team. And if you were a girl trying to be a man, they was going to give you the opportunity to play on that male's team. But my whole thing is, why would we allow that to happen when we have individuals like this young man or this man or whomever he is, that's an NFL football player who's clearly saying he is gay? Why do we have to flip things around and allow those that would like to turn their sexuality into something else? Why? I mean, if he's okay with being gay and playing football, why can't he be okay being a woman and still playing? I mean, if he wanted to change his stuff to a woman, then why couldn't he still be on the football team if that's what he wanted to do?
It is. Wow. It's a complicated subject. And I agree with Amber. She said his sexual preference does equate to physical ability, and that is so true. My whole issue with the whole thing is not the fact that he did come out, because again, that's what you do sexually in your bedroom is on you. That's your personal preference. Where I had an issue with that, there was another gentleman that was African American who was supposed to be entering into the draft, and when he came out and said that he was gay, now he's not even playing. He didn't even make the draft. None of those things. So I feel like it's a double-sided coin, because I feel like because he was African American, he got blackballed out of NFL and couldn't even play, and wasn't even given the opportunity because of his sexual orientation, which is not fair. But then we have this Caucasian guy who's been in the NFL and now saying, "Hey, I'm gay," and everybody's embracing it. So I have a problem with that, because white or black, whoever, and whenever you come out, that is your choice. Whoever you decide to sleep with, that is your choice. But be fair across the board. I just don't feel like it was fair that because the guy was African American in the draft, he got blackballed because he came out and said, hey, men are my preference. And so I just feel like it's double standard. It's not fair. And it's not okay. And that's the issue that I had. My second issue is that don't force upon me what your sexual preference is. I don't think that's not okay. If you feel that you was born one way, you want to be another way, or you never told people you might like men, you never told people you like women, now you telling them, that's all fine. That's you. But don't force upon me or anyone else that we have to accept or we have to go with, because we may not agree with it. Just right. Because what your choice is doesn't mean I have to agree with it. You have your right to your choice. We all do. I don't have a right to judge you on your choice. But at the same time, don't force feed me. I have to accept this. Or, you have to accept, you have to go along with it, because they've been given so many rights. And I'm black, you black, we black. We wake up every day. I don't get to change if I want to be white today, if I want to be an Asian woman tomorrow. I don't get to change that. Where are our rights for that? There isn't any. How does pride rights come before people just being a person? You know what I mean? Not caring what my sexual orientation is. So those are the things that I have an issue with.
Got it. And Amber said she don't think that if you are born a male and want to become a female, that you should be able to play on a female's team. I don't agree. We don't agree with that either. I think that if you are born a male, if you do want to become a female, my thing is why you can't continuously play on that male's team. Because in all actuality, genetically, you are a man. Genetically, you are a woman. So why can't I play on a team for women if I decided to be a man? I don't get that. And then Amber says professional players keep it under wraps because they don't want to go, they don't want to get blackballed. And you are absolutely right. But he came out. But then I listened to Warren Moon, who played years ago. He stated that when he played, there were several that were gay. But then, they decide to come out and they decide to come out, I guess now, for whatever reason. Maybe Black Lives Matter is the reason why they decide to come out. I don't know. Then there's this other there's another one that's going to the Olympics. There's a lot of, and I want to commend all the blacks that's going to the Olympics. They're doing that thing at the Olympics. They're doing that thing. But my thing is, there's a man that is becoming a female that's going to be in the Olympics in the women's powerlifting. Now, should he do that? Should he be able to do that or not? I say no.
I say no. So I did see that, and I do want to give shouts out to our people that are in the Olympics. Like, we are holding it down. We are representing. We are representing our ancestors well, holding it down. I mean, I'm seeing so much color. I'm just loving it. As far as the man that's now a woman and that's a power lifter, I did see that. I don't think it's fair because at the end of the day, his genetics is still male. He may change his outer physical genitals. He may take hormones. He might grow his hair out, all these things, but he still has the DNA of a male and the strength and physical capabilities of a male. So I don't think that it's fair to compete in a female competition just because of, the DNA, the structure, the anatomy, the physical part of it. I think he would beat everyone out because, hello, he's a man.
I'm with you, Steve. I just think that it's like when you're driving, you can't drive in two lanes. You need to drive in your own lane because it's unfair for you to take up 2 lanes at one time. It's unfair for a male or female to switch over and then play the board.
I think I equate to. I think it's an unfair disadvantage. I equate it to how everybody goes so crazy about how steroids is not, it's not allowed. So I mean, to me, it's kind of like the same things because if he's a power lifter, but he's lifting for the women, that's almost like being on steroids because you're a male. Genetically, you're a male. Your DNA is male, even though you may change everything else. The fibers running through your DNA is male, and so therefore, how can you fairly compete with females? There's no way. And if you're going to do that, you have to do that across all sports. So that means that women who change their genetics to male can get in a boxing ring. If you got to do it for everyone. You can't just say, oh, I'm happy that he came out or she came out or they changed themselves. You have to make it straight across the board, and it's not happening that way. And that's my issue with it. Anything else as far as who they want to be with and lay with and all that, that's their personal cross to bear. I have nothing to do with that. But the fairness is what I have the issue with. And how that as a Black woman, as a Black person, how is it that we don't have any rights, right? But the alphabet community has so many rights that we've been regularly fighting for just to be a person. I don't get to pick if I want to be white tomorrow or Asian tomorrow or Hispanic tomorrow. You don't get to choose. So I just think that it's just so much double-sidedness, so much unfairness, and so I mean he's changed it over to parallel, put him in with the men because he's still genetically a male, and
that's my bottom line. He is like I said, his genetic makeup is still that of a man, but the Olympics they're allowing him to be a power lifter in the woman's category, and I just don't think that that is fair for them to allow him to do that. But who am I to say? But I don't believe there was enough individuals that made a fuss about it or felt some kind of way about it, because we have come to we are a world or a society where we're pretty much accepting everything, and that's fine, to each his own. But sports is a different story. When you're doing sports, that's totally different. It's like if some men, most men are taller than women. Most men are taller than women. Every once in a while, you'll get a woman that's tall. Her expectations or the expectations is that she may play volleyball or basketball. Why would she change to become a man and then want to get out on the football field and become a tight end? Why? Because her genetic makeup could not take the pounding and the hitting from a man that's probably the same size, if not a little bigger. I mean, 350 pounds, hitting her, she ain't no man.
Yeah, her genetic makeup, it's just not fair. Change, who you are. If that's what you want, you feel you waking up, you want to be something else, that's fine. But as far as like you're saying, it's an unfair disadvantage physically. We're not talking about everything else, physically it's an unfair advantage. And it's just like any sport. The UFC fighters, or like I said, boxing earlier, that would be unfair for a male that wants to be female now to be boxing with a female. Like, that would be unfair. It's just it's so many liabilities when it comes to that. And I know they're like, okay, it's just powerlifting, it's an individual sport, but it's just still, it's unfair because of how it is that they're scoring everything. A male's physical makeup is so much different than a female's. Like, they always say the guys is the bronze and the women are the brains, or the beauty. But it's not fair at all. From skating to all the way across the board, it's not it's not fair. That's period. It's just not fair to those that are born women and now have to compete with a man who's stating that he's a woman. Like, that's fine, and I respect that, but it's not the same thing.
So my question too is, now that he's come out the closet, if you want to say, came out the front, walked out the front door and went to football practice, made the announcement that he's gay. So what do you think is going to happen to him? Because I'm like you. When the black guy came out, Michael Sams, I think, or Sands or something like that, I forget his name. When he did that, he never got drafted. Nobody picked him up because he came out because he was a bad boy in college. These things I do know. He was bad in college. So when he came out of college, he made that announcement. A lot of people think that hurt his chances on becoming an NFL player. But somebody picked him up. Now, he wasn't drafted, but they picked him up. And I think they picked him up maybe for publicity, or to say, hey, yeah, we gave him a shot, but, he wasn't worth it. He didn't do anything like that. So what do you think should happen with this guy? And if it's going to be really, really hard to see when the upcoming football season is coming. How are they going to feel with him being on the field or being in the locker room, taking a shower before, after, in between? Is he going to have his own? Are they going to make up something where, his whole area is just for him alone? I'm trying to figure out how are they going to do that, because you and I know that in these schools, they got the transgender, or you got the bathrooms, or the unisex, or the family bathrooms, where if you don't go in the men or you don't go in the women, then you got one here in the middle that you can go to, to keep from being harassed, or to keep the schools from being sued, or companies or restaurants being sued. Do you think they're going to make those same exceptions and rules for him? Or do you think they're going to treat him like they treated the black football player?
Definitely not. Definitely, they're not going to treat him like that, because we're seeing it now. A lot of things are being accepted now, and so, like Courtney's saying, it won't be the same. Society is more accepting now, and he's white. Like, let's just call it what it is. Like, it's sad that we have to keep going backwards and forwards with this black and white game, but that's what it is. He's black. He was an athlete. He came out. He was honest and upfront, and he was blackballed, basically. this guy has been in the NFL for a while, kept his mouth closed because he felt like he might have got blackballed. But as we see, and that's not the case because he's white. And so I know that there are a lot of people who may be okay, we pat him on the back because he finally came out. But there are some football players who feel a certain way, like, man, was he in the locker room looking at me? When he was doing this, was he peeping me out? Like, was he? They may feel some type of way, like, dang. At least you could have said something a long time ago, so that if that's how you are, so I know how I want to maneuver. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of times people say, oh, those people so homophobic, and we have taste too. We may like the same sex, but we have taste, and that's understandable. But give me the respect to say, hey, this is where I'm at, and allow me to be able to say I'm okay with that, or I can't get down with that, or I don't like that. Give me that option. And so no, he's not gonna be blackballed, but he's gonna probably be looked at sideways. But nobody's gonna say nothing because they're patting him on the back now for even coming out. And so, like I said, there's gonna be a lot of players aside, and like, dang, was he checking me out when I was in the shower? Because a lot of these things they do as a group. They shower as a group. They change their clothes as a group. So some of the players are feeling some kind of way, like, dang, now I don't know who gonna come out next. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I felt better that the African American guy that wasn't even given a shot, he came right out and said what it was. Thinking that he would be more accepted, but it was the total opposite. And so, as far as extra provisions for him, because he's came out now and they may feel a certain way, I don't know. I mean, they've allowed this, he's white, and they're cool with it. The black man wasn't given a chance, so who knows? It's just not fair, and it's, you can't time when somebody feels comfortable enough to express who they are, how they are, I understand that, but when that happens, make it fair. I just feel like that man should still be given a chance to get into the draft, to be picked up by somebody, because at the end of the day, he's doing a job. What he does in his bedroom is two total separate things.
You better say that. But at the end of the day, as Courtney said, society now is more accepting than it ever has been. I mean, and they accept anything. It does not matter what it is, doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter the color of their skin. This today's society is it they making up groups for just certain people. You short, you got a group for that. You got gray hair, you got a group for that. I mean, so it's like they got an eyelash group, an eyebrow group, you name it. They got different groups that are set up for individuals that society is really, really more accepting. And I'm with you. I think it's just it's unfair, first of all, because they didn't give the black football player the same opportunity as they're giving him, regardless of when it happened, or regardless of when it came out, because he came out not too long ago. So the span in between them isn't that far apart. But it was just, maybe it wasn't so much more accepting in society and in the professional arena that because you hadn't heard from him since then, because he has not been successful. He was not successful. Don't know what he's doing now. Don't know where he's doing it at. But I do think it's unfortunate and it's unfair that men and women now have to share different platforms that was clearly and strictly for their gender in the first place. Because we know that we as blacks have not always been treated fairly and won't ever be. Whites, some of them have not been treated fairly and won't ever be. So the playing field is not going to ever be the same, but let us stay in our own field. Let us stay in our own backyard. Let us do our own thing. I don't want to be on no basketball team. If I couldn't imagine being on a basketball team when I was coming up playing basketball and I'm playing against a man. Can you imagine your baby coming up right now? And because the bone structure is totally different from men and women. Your baby is a tumbler. She's a gymnastics individual. She's played softball. She just recently started playing volleyball. So if you look at her and you see the way her genetics are formulated and built, you're gonna put somebody 6'5" in the same category that she's in? Somebody make it make sense. I need help.
I mean, you can. It's Wind Down Wednesday. We talking about it. You guys are free to chime in. We want to hear what you have to say. What are your thoughts? Again, I just feel like, again, it's a disadvantage. It's not fair. It's definitely not fair. And so, I feel like everybody should be given a chance straight across the board. So, at this point, I'm like, are you going to open it back up now for this man to be drafted? So like, is this going to be a topic or a subject? Because again, it's work. What they do in a bedroom is totally different than what they're doing on a job. And so football, sports, for some people, it's their career. It's a job. And so, to put it all together, I mean, we get to a point now where, everybody's tiptoeing around what they should say or what they can say or what they can't say. It's ridiculous. And so, with the sports field, like you said, let it be a level playing field. If he's a boy and he wants to be a girl, he still need to be playing with the boys. If it's a girl and she wants to be a boy, she still should be playing with the girls. We're not calling you the opposite of what you want to be. We're just saying that to be fair in this sport, you have to stay in this category. And so, I mean, that's what I feel about it. As far as that player, I think he should be given another opportunity, because again, it just looks like it is what it is. I'm gonna call it what it is. He was blackballed. He came out, said what he liked, and they like, oh no, we're not doing that. But then there's other football player that's white, been in the league, been doing whatever. Now I'm coming out. Now it's like, oh, okay, that's what's up. We accept that. So, I mean, either you're going to accept it or you ain't, but it shouldn't be halfway. We're going to accept it here, but we're not over here. It's chaos. It's chaos. But let the playing field be level when it comes to playing sports. If he's a black male and he likes males, that's his business. He come to work and he do his job. That's all that matters. If he's a white male that like males, he come to work and do his job. That's what matters. Same with females. They like the same sex. That's fine. That's what they do. When they come to their job, their performance is what matters, not about who they like. Do we need to get back to, okay, in certain circles, you don't talk about politics, right? And you don't talk about religion. So now do we have to talk about don't talk about people's sexual orientation? Because really it's nobody's business. Right. It's really a personal business. People are deciding to come out. People are deciding to share, who they are, what they feel, or who they want to love. It's separate from you doing a job at hand. Give me my task. Let me do my task. If I'm failing at my task, tell me what I need to do to get better at them, and leave it at that. Who I decide to be with on my off time, off the clock, in my bedroom is my personal or that person's personal business. Period. Separate the two.
My thing is this. I don't understand why people feel they need to have to come out and just tell people, do your own thing. Do you, be you, and do it and be it wherever you want to be it. I don't think it's necessary to always come out and make that announcement, because there are some things that you should want to keep to yourself. Because what difference is it going to make? Now, the difference that I know it's going to make, people are going to start looking at you in a different way, shape, form, or fashion. There was another guy or somebody commented on the girl she a bad track star. She is, I think her name is Shar Richardson or Cher Richardson, something like that. The girl is bad. She is the fastest female runner that's out there right now. If I'm not mistaken, she beat FloJo's record when she was running the 100-meter dash. Now, my thing is, it's like when you're running and you're working out consistently all the time, your body has a tendency to form in muscles, and you get muscles all in your face, you get muscles in your hands, your fingers, your arms, even your neck. The fact of the matter that she had, like, I guess, gold hair, or, she wears different color hair or whatever, a black male had the tendency to say she looked masculine. She looked like a man, and you know, she looked ghetto for wearing her hair like that. But let's go back to FloJo. When she was running, when she was racing, when she came out in all of those different outfits, the only thing is she had those long fingernails that she was known for. And then she, not only that, but she had long hair. The only difference is her hair wasn't colorful. She didn't change the color in her hair. But do you call her ghetto hood or looking masculine? Because she had the same definition, same muscles in her body, same build and everything. As you can go back and look at her photos and see, just because you look like you are in condition or in shape doesn't necessarily mean that you are masculine, that you got masculine tendencies, that you got male tendencies, or you got men tendencies, or you want to be one. That's not the case. So I don't understand why people talk about those individuals, because at the end of the day, what you want to do, you do it. Who cares about what somebody else thinks? I don't get why the man came out and said, "Oh, I'm gay." Is he retiring now? What does he want people to do? I mean, they're not going to have pity for him. They probably going to call him all kinds of names when they're out there on that field, and we'll never know it, because we ain't going to, unless he come up with something, say, so-and-so called me a name. What? Why? Why is it a need to say it now? Is it because Black Lives Matter? Or is it because he's just trying to take the attention off of something else and put it on him? I'm confused at why he wanted to come out now and say it. What difference will it make? And why do Black men always have to call a woman look like a man because she is physically built and physically in shape? Somebody help me on that. I need some help.
It's just too much. It's damn if you do or damn if you don't at this point. People are gonna always have a viewpoint. They're gonna always have an opinion. Some are gonna be more judgmental than others. Who cares? The girl is bad. She's 21. Shikari, I believe that's what her name is. She's the bomb. That's all that matters. She's original. That's what she wanted to wear. She represented herself and her family. That girl been through she lost her mom, you know, and so the negative is so much easier to be negative nowadays than it is positive. Instead of looking at, okay, she won. That's all that matters. She putting us on the map. That's all that matters. Her 3 women, African American young women, going to the Olympics. That's what matters. It don't matter about what her hair was looking like, because at the end of the day, you can't beat her. You can't run faster than her. So, now you're gonna say she look like a man. It doesn't matter. Just like when they was talking about Gabby Douglas, her hair. Like, yeah, it should have been a little bit more together because she on national TV, but y'all dog people out for no reason. Like, and that's crazy. And so people are gonna always have an opinion. I do miss the times, and I'm sure you can remember, where I take it back to celebrity status, because celebrities back in the day, you didn't know who they was dating, who they was with, who their kids were, none of that. I mean, think about Diana Ross. You didn't know that her daughter Tracy Ellis Ross and her son Evan Ross, you didn't even know that they was brother and sister. Well, I do, but you didn't even know that type of information because they didn't put that out there, because they wanted you to keep the perspective and the persona of respecting their craft and enjoying what they're giving you, as far as whether it's music, as far as whether it's acting or whatever. You didn't know things that were going on about their personal business, and because you weren't able to judge them on that. You were only able to judge them on their talents. And so why can't get back to that? Judge people on their talents, not the way they look, or not who they're dating or who their kids is by. People are putting out too much information. Like, who cares? Who cares? And so, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what mattered, the talent. The girl was talented. She's 21. She's young, and she Black. And she doing it. She done did it. She put it on the map. She keeping it on the map. That's what matters, not her shape or her physique. Like, who cares about that? Same with the football guy. Okay, you like men. So what? Are you saying this because you want to be picked up on? Like, what was your purpose of coming out and saying that you were gay? The African American guy, he same thing. He came out. Who cares about what you're doing in your bedroom? What is your performance? What are you doing in your performance? That's what counts. That's what matters. People are saying that they don't want to be judged, but they putting information out here to be judged. So make it make sense.
Somebody need to help me make it make sense. Shakari is her name. Courtney was like, no, mom, her name is Shakari. She was like, don't be on there calling the girl name wrong, because she made it plain. Shakari. And she has gone through a lot of stuff. And she, and it's bad that when we have our own people that are out there, she's become successful now. Like you said, Gabby Douglas went through the same thing with her hair, but what's good hair, bad hair? What's good and bad? If you're doing good, then what's bad about doing good? The girl is bad. The girl she running her butt off right now. Don't look like nobody gonna beat her, and it's like, be successful, and we need to be pushing each other more than what we're doing. We need to be uplifting each other more than what we're doing. But it's the black men that I think that are doing it way worse than the women are to other women. I mean, it ain't. And even if you were a gorgeous black man, why would you talk about what she looks like? What about the success that she has, that has happened in her life lately? What about those obstacles that she has overcome during her 21 years of her grandma raised her? She said her biological mom died, which meant she wasn't raised by her biological. If you got to say biological mother, then that more than likely you weren't raised by her. You was raised by somebody else, but she gave her honor because, where it was due. She's like, people don't know what she's been through, what she's gone through, and what she's overcome. So in other words, she was telling all you naysayers, stay in your lane. You can't be in my lane and yours at the same time, because at the end of the day, are you putting food in their mouth? Are you helping her? Are you doing anything for her? I'm going to be sitting here rooting for her on TV. When she get over there, I'm going to be showing up room for her, because I want her to come back with, I don't know how many gold medals, but enough. If she'll never run and race again, at least I want her to come back with one. So it's just the things that we do and how we do it. Everything that's said and done doesn't always have to come out. It doesn't need to come out. You can keep it and go to the grave with it. It just does not ever have to come out, because at the end of the day, what difference is it gonna make? Don't nobody, because I don't care if you gay. I really don't. It don't make me no difference, because you ain't doing enough for me. I mean, yeah, if you was a sprinter or a runner, a football player, I might watch you on football and say that was a great tackle or something, but you still ain't doing nothing for me. So I'm still confused. I go back to what I said. I don't understand why he felt the need to come out now, because Warren Moon said he ain't the first. Warren Moon said he ain't the first. There's plenty of them back then. They just didn't come out because society now is totally different than what it was back then. So somebody needs to help me make it make sense.
You can't make it make sense. And just like he said, and there's still more. There's still plenty more who have yet or haven't, said what their sexual orientation or what they prefer is, and that's fine, because that's nobody's business anyway. That's not why we like you. That's not why we watch the sport. That's not why we watch football, because we want to know if you like men or you like women. Who cares? We like it because it's entertainment, it's fun, and you're talented. That's it. I don't care who you lay down in the bed with. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Period, ever, at all. Like, I don't care about that. And so we need to get back to being more focused on the job at hand, and not so focused on, like I said, back in the day, a lot of the celebrities, you didn't know stuff that was going on in their personal life. Now everybody putting everything on social media, and they're keeping nothing to themselves. So nothing's sacred anymore. And so it's all out there. So it's like, you saying you don't want to be judged, but you putting information out here to be judged on. So I mean, that you can't do both. it doesn't make sense. It'll never make sense. You can never make it make sense. So do your job, have your fun, entertain us, and all that personal stuff is on you. What you do off of the clock, what you do off of that field, or what you do out of that weight room or whatever, that's your personal time. That's your personal business. We got to stop sharing so much, so much personal things like that, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And how she built is what got her to win. Okay, so you can talk about she looked like a man, she built like a man, whatever. But at the end of the day, you try to race her, you ain't gonna beat her. So that's all that matters. Watch the Olympics, have fun. It's entertainment. If you Black, be proud that we got a lot of folks that look like us that's in the Olympics, because I definitely am. And I'm looking forward to watching her and see how far this young lady goes. She's 21 and she's been through a lot. So let's talk about that instead of the negative on how somebody look or how they build and anything like that. Like there's so much more happening in the world that we need to be talking about. And it's not about who somebody laying in their bed with. And it's definitely about how somebody build. So if you can't be a part of the solution, you are part of the problem. And that's my take on it. You ain't got no nice to say, don't say nothing. And all our listeners was Wind Down Wednesday. We talking heavy. We talking about, the football player that came out. We're talking about the young lady that's 21 years old that won, that's going to the Olympics with two other sisters. And we're just talking about why so much information, why so much personal information people are putting out. Why is it that people are so judgmental and have so many negative comments? And we just want to know from you guys, like, what do you guys think about it? What do you think about the football player that came out? What do you think about the young lady, Shakira? Is it Shakira? Is it Jenkins? I want to say Johnson.
Richardson. I don't know.
The bad sister with the pretty orange hair and the nails that won the other day. I know what I'm talking about. Chime in, comment, like, share this video later. But we're talking about it, so we'd love to hear some comments from you guys as well.
I do know this. She about to get paid. She's about to get that money for her and her family, regardless to what she said, what she does right now. I think the endorsements are up the wazoo. But there's another young lady, and I think that she might be a part of this. She's from North Carolina, AT&T, and she's phenomenal too. So my thing is, it's like when we become successful and we become well known in something that we're good at, let that be. Let that be it. We don't have to go and say nothing else. That man was a great football player. Why is it to the fact that I need to know he gay? I don't. He's a phenomenal football player, whether he was a defensive personnel or an offensive. I don't care. He was a great or is a great football player. So what difference does it make? You are who you are. Let it be. Let them be. Continue to support their endeavors, that they make it, she be successful and get over there and win the gold medals and come back. And so there's something that she can talk about. She's made history. So why can't we give them the kudos? This man, the football player, may go to the Hall of Fame at some point if he's that good. Just leave it at that. He's a great Hall of Famer. He was a great tackler. He's an outstanding wide receiver. Whichever one, can we just leave it at that? Because we don't need, I'm like you, sis. Why we got to put my eyebrow on y'all see my eyebrow? I got it cut. I mean, you don't need that on social media. That's the problem. In today's time, I was talking to somebody earlier, and they were talking about how when you're politics, politicians and all that, social media plays a huge role with politicians and what they do and how they do it. It's amazing. You cannot be in politics and not have a social media page. Now that right there is something that I just don't, because I guess times have changed. Back in the day, if I wanted to run for mayor in my own little hometown, my little city, Hickville, I didn't need social media to do that. All I had to do was walk 2 blocks and tell the people to vote for me and call it a day. But now you can't do that. You're running for anything, you got to put it on social media. You got to make sure you monitor it. You got to tell the folks what you're doing. You got to let them see you walking down the street. You got to let them see you knocking on doors. You got to let them see the pamphlets that you made. You got to let them see the holes in the bottom of your shoes. I mean, so and all of this is on social media. But who cares? Because at the end of the day, does all that change who you are? No. Is that man gonna stop you from NFL football team? I don't think so.
Definitely they not. And it makes me think about the young lady who's also young, a teenager, or she may be about 20 now, that plays tennis, and how she went into a depression because of, it's so much pressure to be perfect, to do everything right. And if you don't do this, then it's going to be some type of judgment from somewhere. And she just laying low right now. Like she didn't even want to do tennis. Like it's gotten that bad, where I think one of the Williams sisters spoke up in her defense as well as other people have spoken up for her. But it's this type of thing that really, it's a turnoff for a person, especially a young person who don't have that strength, may not have the strength of the 21-year-old who just ran, and been through some obstacles, been through some stuff, and will check you and let you know, like, look, I don't care nothing about what y'all talking about. I just won. Everybody doesn't have that strength, and so that attack and that negativity, it breaks you down. It breaks certain people down. It's not about age. It's just where you are in your life at that time. And so the young lady is very talented. She's a tennis player, and she's on pause right now because of stuff like this, negative comments like that. It's just really ridiculous. Really ridiculous.
I agree. I totally agree. It's just like substance abuse. If you smoke weed, and you come back positive, does that keep you from being a great ball player? Marijuana almost legal in every state now. So if you get caught smoking weed or you got weed in your system, is that going to put a bad light on you or make you look bad because all of a sudden you're in the limelight for doing something or saying something that you shouldn't have said? I just totally disagree with the things that are happening around, and I don't know if our babies will ever be the babies that we were growing up. I mean, I get it. Times change. But at what point do they start picking up books, reading books, stop watching stuff on TV, internet, these TikTok videos, all that stuff? Where's the positive piece? Where's the positivity, that's happening or going on or taking place in their lives? Honestly, it's not. Because you look at what we talked about last week, real briefly, the mother was keeping the father out of the labor room. I mean, that don't need to be on social media, but it was. I mean, who cares? Whatever you decide to do with your life and how you decide to do it, do it. Don't knock it from somebody else because that's what they want to do. Live your life and live it to the fullest, to the best of your ability, and pretty much that's about it. Hey, in case y'all didn't know, this month is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So make your donations, reach out, call somebody, look up and see, go get your blood work done, get yourself tested to make sure and see what's going on, because if you're feeling some kind of way, you just never know. But it is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, so become aware.
Actually, September is Awareness Month.
Oh, I thought it was.
It was an awareness day, I want to say, but yeah, September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So yes, but either way, yes, get tested, know what your status is, and across the board with everything, with your health in all areas. So yeah, it's Wind Down Wednesday. Y'all know how we do it. We talk live, we talk direct. We keep it 100. We talk about what we've seen, what we've heard. We turn the scenario, we twist the scenario sometimes, but it's always 100%. If you got something that you want to chime in on, definitely hit up the comments. You can call in. If there's a subject you want to talk about and you don't want everybody to know like it's you that's presenting it, we cool with that too. You can inbox us at Tuck Radio or my page, Shanice Gibson Arnold, and we'll keep it discreet and we'll ask it for the masses. You know, it's just what we do. We're here to talk about it. We're here to be positive and support. But we got questions. We want answers. We talk about it, which we want to know about it. It's wind down. It's the middle of the week, so like, comment, share this video. Of course, I'm trying to think what we got going on. We got anything going on this week? Oh, we got this Saturday is, I want to say, Chub Rock at Cove 51. So if you're in Cincinnati, Ohio, come on over to Cove 51, which is right here around the corner from my salon, in Sharonville. And so we came from Gemini season to now we're in what? This is Cancers. We're in Cancer season, so we celebrating the Cancers for the rest of the month of June. She's like, I don't know, it ain't my sign. And if you're looking for brows, lashes, any type of enhancement, beauty enhancement, I am your woman. It's 230 East Sharon Road here at Glendale Salon. You can go to my page. You can go to the Facebook page, Glendale Salon or DE Experience, and hit me up. Book now. I'm available. Or if you're looking for a new place to call home for your clients, I have booth rent available as well. So you can hit me in the inbox, or my number is posted on the E Experience page, as well as my Facebook page or the Glendale Salon page.
There you go, people. Y'all got it right there. Y'all know what to do. You know what to do. You know how we do it. Look her up. If you don't know where she is, hit me up on my inbox. I can tell you where she is and what, if you would need anything done, because the season is coming up. You got concerts coming up. People are now going back outside, doing things, enjoying the weather, hanging out in the parks, listening to some good music, taking vacations. They're doing a lot of things, and they're doing a lot of good things. We are doing, we're hitting the road, we're going places and doing things. It's like, why sit down? If you're able to go, just go and do what you got to do. Life is good. God is good. It's all good. We are, when I say we are enjoying life, and we are enjoying it to the fullest, because tomorrow is not promised. So we're living today as though it's our last. We laugh, we talk, we cry. We have a blast. How about that? Now we are planning our next trip. So you just might see us somewhere out of town together. Last time we went out of town together and we just could not find a way to hook up. But that's not going to happen again, because the next time we go out of town together, we will be hooking up. And we will be making it happen wherever we decide to go. So with that being said, y'all know what time it is. You know what we do and you know how we do it. We have come to that piece of this show in this time, because I have to still get this 56-year-old body into some condition and still have to make sure she looking good for the people when she out and about in them streets, because every once in a while we got to get in them streets. So I do have to get my workout in, because I have not gotten it in for the last 2 days because of the babies. But been working with the babies, and they've been taking me over and over hours, and it's very excruciating, and I am extremely tired. But anyway, I'm not too tired to make sure that my body stays in some kind of condition, mentally and physically. So with that all being said, y'all, you know what time it is. So my sister about to, give you the up and up, the what.
So positive words of encouragement. Like I said, this is Tuck Radio. So make sure you like, share, and comment. You can always watch this video later. It's on YouTube as well. So yeah, like, share, comment, and invite all your friends and your family members to check us out. We are here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. And so this is how we do it. So my positive quote is: smile. You don't own all the problems in the world. Okay? Smile. There you go.
Pearly whites. Show them pearly whites. Show them pearly whites. Let's hope you're brushing your teeth, but smile. Smile a while. But at the end of the day, we love you and it's all good. But be who you are going to be. Don't let nobody else pressure you into doing and being something that you just don't want to do, or being the person that you don't want to be, because I see it happening way more often than you probably can imagine. Be yourself, be who you're going to be, and let's call it a day. But at the end of the day, y'all know me and you know what I say. It's always better to give than it is to receive. And we're going to see y'all next week.
See you next Wednesday.